Alright, the UFC 280 press conference just took place, and I need to give a reaction to this. Sorry if I'm late. It was on very early. I was doing some stuff, but I'm back now. And I'm gonna break it down here in this video. Lots of stuff happened. It wasn't the best press conference, but it wasn't the worst. It was more so on the good side than the bad side. It wasn't boring, and I was kind of entertained throughout the thing. We can start with the main event. Charles Oliveira versus Islam Makhachev. They had some good. They went back and forth, alright, and there was a lot of key moments in this press conference. But let's start with the main event. Oliveira brought the energy. Same with his translator. That guy, translator, is a beast. Because Oliveira, every time he was saying something in Brazilian, the translator would go, like, he would say something right after. So he was right behind Oliveira of what Oliveira was saying. And Makhachev, Oliveira said something like the champion has a name at the beginning of the press conference. And Makhachev, I don't know much. I keep forgetting every time I record these press conference reactions. I forget most of what the fighters were saying. So I'm gonna try to get everything. But Makhachev was saying, we try to fight you in Brazil. And that is true. Makhachev, they were trying to fight in Brazil, but instead it was Abu Dhabi and whatever. But then Charles Oliveira came out and said, what did he say? What did Oliveira say? Champion has a name. We're here now. We're gonna make history. Good for Oliveira there. And Makhachev agrees with it as well. So I like that from Oliveira. They both went back and forth though. The translator's a goat. I like that translator. He goes every time. I like the translator. Charles Oliveira's translator. He's a beast. But yeah, what else did they say though? Makhachev. What else did they say? Oh, I forgot. There's so much things I forgot. I forgot. Frick. No, please, no. I legit forgot. Oh no. I remember Sterling and Aljo, but they didn't get much questions. But Oliveira, they kept going back and forth. Makhachev said something weird though. And I know, yeah, I'm gonna say it now. Makhachev said Oliveira said Makhachev shouldn't even got the shot at the title. He went over someone else, and he's just getting the shot outside because of Habib. And Makhachev's like, who have you beaten? Michael Chandler to get the belt, which was really interesting to me. And Makhachev said, who have you beaten to get to the title shot? He beat Kevin Lee, which is a good fighter. Let's be real. I mean, Kevin Lee ain't the best, but he's a capable fighter. Kevin Lee's a great fighter. And he also beat Tony Ferguson. You know, from fighting Jared Gordon to Kevin Lee is a big jump. Big jump. And he went to find Tony Ferguson, who at the time was only coming off a loss to Justin Gaethje. So Oliveira fought a pretty good version of Ferguson, let's be real. And Makhachev beat Bobby Green and Dan Hooker. Woo! And I kind of agree on Oliveira there. And I'm gonna start with Oliveira here because he fought Ferguson. Ferguson's better than. Okay, let's be real. Ferguson probably loses to Bobby Green, but in terms of name value, Ferguson is better than Bobby Green. Kevin Lee's better than Bobby Green. Ferguson's better than Dan Hooker. Alright, Kevin Lee's better than Dan Hooker, probably. Probably not. Both Hooker and Bobby Green were short notice replacements, for Makhachev to fight. Not Makhachev's fault, but they went back and forth. Nothing much, though. I'll get to the face-offs at the end, but we move on, though, to Sterling and Dillashaw. Now, I'm really confused by this. And the press conference was alright, I understand, but there was something at the back of my mind the whole time while I was watching it. Sterling and Dillashaw should have got more questions, in my opinion. Like, I think Oliveira got the most questions, and I don't blame them for giving him the most questions. It's Oliveira. He deserves to have the question, but Sterling and Dillashaw both speak perfectly good English. That tapped them both, like gave Yan more questions in both of them. Let's give both of them a time to just start some heated beef. And they got that, I understand, but only one time, and it was kind of not really. Aljamain Sterling was asked for one question the whole entire press conference. Was it something to do with TJ? Maybe. Probably. They didn't ask TJ one question at all. They didn't ask TJ one question. Not one. They didn't ask TJ one question. And they asked Aljo one. But I think they would have asked Aljo more if it wasn't, because if Aljo was talking, TJ was just going to go right through him. But let's talk about what the thing they had there. TJ. I don't know. TJ won this beef here. Aljo was saying, the roids of TJ. I'll beat Dillashaw, Dillaroids. And Dillashaw put some funny jokes, man. Funny jokes. Like he put you can test these nuts in my mouth. You can test these nuts in your mouth. Which is a bit weird there, but Sterling was laughing about it. It was good. And yeah, that's all they really had. And Dillashaw was like, "You're about to get your ass whipped by a cheater. Chill out. Alright, don't blatantly put it out there like I cheated. Like, no, don't. Now people are gonna look that back now and say, oh, you did cheat. You just openly admitted it, basically. But let's calm down about it. Alright. Yeah. That's all they really had. They should have got more questions, man. They should have got way more questions, in my opinion. I don't know why they didn't. But O'Malley and Yan, let's talk about this. This is... I'm gonna talk about this. Yan and O'Malley. Yan won this, man. Yan won this. He won this bit of the argument here. O'Malley is just shy. He's shy, O'Malley. I think O'Malley is shy at press conferences. I don't think he's really used to the bright lights. I understand in the octagon it changes there. But even then, in his last performance against Munoz, I think O'Malley is a bit shy in there. You know? I think he is. Yan, in my opinion, really won this, in my opinion. Yan said, now they were saying, if I beat Pink Poodle here, I will fight Sterling or Dillashaw. He says, and O'Malley always says, I'll put his lights down round one. And I just can't trust O'Malley because Every time he says that, he never does it. Took Moutinho to the third round, takes Almeida to the third round, puts Paiva out, fair play, but takes Munoz to a razor close fight, eye poke at the end, you know. And he was just lights out. Paiva wasn't out cold. So I don't know how I can trust O'Malley here. But Jan said he looks like a whore on the streets. A whore on the streets. Which was really something from Jan. And he won this in my opinion. But yeah, good from Jan. Jan won this, man. O'Malley is just not used to the press conference thing. He's not a trash talker. And Jan's like a McGregor wannabe. You know, I think he said that. And then Jan was just the better one here. And O'Malley wouldn't have let that slide. He kind of let Jan get away with that. McGregor wouldn't have. McGregor would have snapped right back. So, we'll see. And yeah, Chukagian said, what Chukagian said, I didn't know you can do Nicoline fights or something, whatever. Belal and Brady though, let's talk about them. Belal and Brady. Brady's like, the Eagles are 16-0. I'm about to go 16-0, and Belal's like, or like the Birds or something. And Belal's like the Eagles about to go 15-1. And Belal, and he was like, he's about to go 15-1. We'll see what happens. I think Brady's gonna go out. I think Brady's gonna lose his O, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, that's really about it. Face-offs. Face-offs weren't much. Oh yeah, it was Oliveira. We'll start with him. The undefeated of the undefeateds, the goat of the goats in face-offs. And still the champion in face-offs, if that's even a thing. Yeah. Dude's just freaking staring into Makhachev's eyes. Makhachev, you can see after, it was like, he was kind of like, oh my god. He was like, oh my god. Jeez. Thank goodness that was over. Well, like, you can see it in him as well. You can see it in him. Like, jeez. Like, Oliveira, I don't know what's with him, man, but his eyes, probably, it's just staring into him. It's just really creepy. And yeah, good from Oliveira there. Good for both guys. I'm more confident in my predictions now. I'm worried for Sterling, but everyone else, I'm a bit more confident in. Let's go Sterling Dillashaw. Sterling was talking to him. Dillashaw didn't say anything once. But yeah, I could see Dillashaw's more focused. You wanna know why? Because he would have trashed him more. He would have purposely went out of his way to trash talk Sterling. And he kind of didn't, you know? He kind of did it. I still think Sterling's going to win, but I'm not as confident after that. But I can see Dillashaw more focused. He would have said lots of stuff at the face-off. But yeah, I'm still confident in Sterling, though. Yeah, and O'Malley. Yeah, pushed him at the face-offs. Which is annoying, because now they're not going to be able to square up at the weigh-ins. Now they're going to have to be... See, that's the annoying part. Why not save it till the weigh-ins, man? Why not save it till the weigh-ins? See, that's the annoying part. Now, remember Usman and Covington were able to square off at the press conference? Usman pushed him. At the weigh-ins the next day, they both couldn't face off. You know, they both had to be squared up. So that's annoying from Jan. But why not save it to the first? It's annoying, though. O'Malley just hovering over you. Of course you'll push him. But yeah. I think O'Malley's going to be emotional from that after as well. Dariush and Gamrot. Gamrot's a big guy, man. Gamrot is a big lightweight. Like, he is a bit, like, slendery, but he's big. You know? I'm confident in Gamrot. And Fiora Chukagian. Same height, basically. Good for them. They just steady each other. And, yeah, Brady and Belal had a good stare down. And Belal, I don't know. It was a good stare down with them. And it's over. Short video here, but that's all I can really think of. It was a decent one. Oh yeah, Dariush Gamrot. Dariush. What did Dariush say? Yeah, he saw like Gamrot, like he was hungry. You know, he was a big guy. You know, he even said that to Gamrot. You know, Gamrot was smiling. And yeah, it was a decent one. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. This is a press conference reaction. UFC 280 press conference reaction. Tell me what you think. I mean, it was good. It was alright in my opinion. And yeah, short video here. Yeah, good for them. And yeah. But it's one thing. I don't get why Sterling Dillashaw got no questions, man. I don't get why they got no questions. Like, they got questions. Sterling got a question, but Dillashaw. Just because someone's on roids before, or on roids, or before it was on roids, they don't get any questions. Kind of annoying. They should get the most questions, to be honest with you. And yeah, and pushing O'Malley was cool, but now they can't face off at the weigh-in, so that's gonna be annoying. And yeah, good for them. Peace.